Old Convert Toyota BMW presents Forecast First from WTAJ.
Thanks for joining us this evening. It is mild for this time of the year. Most of us are in the 60s. Some places still right near the 70-degree mark. Low temperatures tonight in the 60s, so it'll be a bit muggy tomorrow morning. There'll be a shower in a few spots tomorrow during the early afternoon hours, and it'll turn warm. Temperatures will approach 80. More on that coming up. WTAJ News at 11 starts now.
Tonight on WTAJ News at 11, Penn State's home opener is in the books, but how did the new parking system hold up? Find out what locals had to say. Plus, a house of horrors for dozens of cats. We'll show you why an investigation is now underway. And the search for a missing toddler comes to a close, but the case surrounding her disappearance is far from finished.
Live from your news leader, this is WTAJ News at 11.
Well, the first Penn State football home game of the year is in the books, and that means so is the first game with the new parking laws. Our David Kaplan brings us what both Penn State police and locals are saying on how the new traffic plan went.
I talked to several people here in Toptree's Patton Township, and I kept hearing the same thing. People were pleasantly surprised with the traffic flow before Penn State football's home opener, thanks to the new parking laws. Bill Newton in Toptree says he had his doubts the new Run Your Route parking plan would decrease traffic.
After seeing the original plan, we were pretty concerned that things would get backed up, but it really seemed to be that there was actually maybe a little bit less traffic than usual.
The new parking plan breaks traffic into 4 different quadrants: north, south, east, and west. Penn State football ticket holders only drive in and out based on their parking permit. Bill Morschbacher with Penn State Police says they had officers in every zone to divert drivers trying to enter into a quadrant they were not assigned to.
The more people we have to turn around, just the longer it takes. Take a look at your permits, make sure they're clear on the route. You know, there's 1-800-NITNY that people can call if they need assistance.
Newton says he's hopeful game day traffic will continue to get better.
I think it might be sustainable. I guess we'll have to see. The bigger games, towards the middle and the end of the season will certainly tell us how things go. If the trend continues, we'll be very happy.
Morschbacher tells me traffic is typically backed up a ways on North Atherton Street before and after Penn State football games, but this year it was much better. In Toftree's Patton Township, David Kaplan, WTAJ News.
Well, today Norfolk Southern told about 100 workers at the Juniata locomotive shop that they were losing their jobs. This is the second round of layoffs this year at the Altoona shop, less than 4 months after another 50 employees were laid off. Stephen McKnight, president and CEO of the Altoona-Blair County Development Corporation, says the layoffs are a part of the company's move towards a new way of freight transportation.
They're doing it more efficiently in different aspects of their operations, which is obviously causing a different type of sizing of their workforce to meet that technological demand. And from what we understand, this is part of that movement.
Both PA CareerLink and the Workforce and Rapid Response Team are working to help those displaced find new jobs. And Congressman Joyce is also responding to the major furloughs by saying it is deeply disappointing that Norfolk Southern has chosen to reduce its workforce in central PA, especially as this announcement comes one day after our nation paused to celebrate the values of American workers. I'm fighting to pass pro-growth, pro-worker legislation to support hardworking Americans, and I'm committed to helping families affected by this news.
From WTAJ, your weather authority, here's your weather now.
This morning was comfortable. We started the day off with a good deal of fog. You can see that with our Shy Beaver Boat Center Skydeck camera, but then enough sunshine. The temperatures rebounded quite nicely. Some folks were enjoying the lake for today. A little less summer activities. Temperatures still got up toward the 80-degree mark. 80 for a high in Altoona, 79 in State College, 80 in Clearfield, Du Bois 77 and 78 in Johnstown. Right now it's still mild for September standards. We're in the 60s, 68 in Altoona and Huntington, 70 still in State College and 67 in Du Bois. And as we take a look at our 24-hour temperature change, we're running a little bit warmer than this time yesterday, especially up to the north where there are a few clouds around. The thing that's noticeable is it's turned muggy again. Dew point temperatures were in the 50s, and now we're back into the lower 60s. So tonight will not be quite as comfortable as recent nights, and we'll have a few patches of clouds around. Our future track saying just a few clouds, especially to the north and west later on tonight. Low temperatures for tonight are going to be in the 60s. Our average low temperatures in the 50s. So heading out the door for tomorrow, it's going to be mild. We'll have a few pockets of fog. Temperatures will get into the low 80s, but there will be a shower, slight chance for a thunderstorm in some spots. Once this front moves through, some very comfortable air comes our way. I'll talk more about that coming up with your complete 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Joe. More than 60 cats are rescued from a sanctuary over the Labor Day weekend. The Huntington County Humane Society says it's one of the worst cases they've seen. Amanda Lee joins us now with more. Amanda?
Rose Cottage Cat Sanctuary is a registered 501c3 nonprofit and was founded in 2016. But 3.5 years later, neighbors say it got out of hand. And that's when code enforcement, police, and the Humane Society had to get involved. This is the animal rescue, where more than 60 cats had to be rescued from.
Living conditions that those cats were in, and the physical condition was just almost more than your heart could take.
Sandy Warsing with the Huntington County Humane Society says they were found in extremely unsafe conditions, living in their own feces with barely any food and no clean water. Among the 22 cats inside the house, 1 was found dead, and 3 were found dead inside a van parked out front with 35 others.
When we approached, they were putting their little paws out the crack of the window. It was heartbreaking to see them. They knew they needed to get out.
Even the neighbors say the stench of the dying animals stretched for blocks.
As of late, we've had to shut the front door and our front window if there's a nice breeze because it permeates into the house.
They were concerned enough to call local officials. The Huntington County Humane Society says these calls allowed them to gather their staff and rescue some of these felines before it was too late. Well, about 20 cats were euthanized due to respiratory issues and severe malnourishment, but I'm told the rest are recovering well and they might be looking for a new home soon. Residents say the woman who owned these cats was suffering with her mental stability and didn't realize or recognize the severity. Here in studio, I'm Amanda Lee, WTAJ News.
Thanks, Amanda. Well, we've learned more information tonight in the case of a missing girl from Penn Hills. Tonight, authorities found the body of 2-year-old Nalani Johnson at Pine Ridge Park in Indiana County. Nalani's father tells police that Sharina Nancy kidnapped his daughter after an argument. Police said Paul Johnson had a, quote, intermittent romantic relationship with Nancy. Johnson said Nancy drove off with his child before he could remove her from the car. Nancy is being held without bail at the Allegheny County Jail.
We do not believe that there is any need for alarm in the community. We believe that the community is safe and that we are working all leads to ensure that we are able to bring the individuals involved to justice.
Now, they say an autopsy will be performed tomorrow. A former Catholic priest at St. Titus Church in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, is now facing indecent assault charges. Francis Trauger was arraigned this morning after turning himself into police for several child sex abuse charges. One of his alleged victims, Michael McDonald, says he was an altar boy when Trauger was a priest in 1981 in Norristown. That's when Trauger allegedly molested McDonald inside the St. Titus Church. McDonald is the 3rd alleged victim to speak out against the priest.
You robbed a lot of life out of a good kid. I was a good kid.
The statute of limitations expired when McDonald came forward with his allegations. There's still time to press criminal charges involving 2 other victims who were also allegedly sexually abused. Authorities are concerned there may be more victims who have not come forward. Trauger's charges include corruption of minors in addition to indecent assault. A Bedford County man is preparing to face a judge tomorrow for his preliminary hearing. 59-year-old Richard Rickabaugh is accused of raping a 42-year-old woman in Broad Top Township on August 31st. Rickabaugh was taken to the Bedford County Jail with his bail set at $150,000. His hearing to face those charges, along with others, will be at 9 a.m. Well, today marks 1 week that Penn State's new police chief has been on duty. Chief Joe Milik is no stranger to policing college campuses. He previously served as assistant chief to Oklahoma State, chief at Xavier, and served more than 20 years in the Cincinnati PD. The challenge at Penn State, he says, is overseeing not just University Park Police, but police operations at PSU's 27 branch campuses. One thing he hopes to continue at PSU is keeping all its students prepared for emergency situations, such as an active shooter.
Society in general, unfortunately, is dealing with that reality, and I believe that our students are receiving the training, the education, and the experience in academics and in disaster preparedness, so that they are able and prepared to protect themselves and to deal with unfortunate incidents such as that.
Milik says he's hit the ground running and looks forward to visiting all of the state's campuses. Still to come on WTAJ News at 11. Hurricane Dorian has finally left the Bahamas. We'll show you the destruction it's left behind and what Florida is preparing for.
And we were warm today, and tomorrow is also going to be warm, but then we'll have a nice, comfortable end to the work week. Your forecast coming up.